Hey everyone, Travis Harrison, Realtor, Woods Bros, Realty here in Lincoln, Nebraska. April data is officially out and there's a lot talking about this month. I'm going to break down what actually happened in the Lincoln market in April and focus in on new construction. We're going to look at the full picture. We're going to look at where inventory is moving, which price bands are competitive, where buyers have leverage, and what I'm watching heading into summer. This will run about 10 to 15 minutes. So let's get into it. So what we're covering, we'll start with what I'm calling the $89,000 spread, the gap between what builders are asking and what buyers are actually committing to. That number tells the whole story of this market. Then we're going to hit the April snapshot, the key numbers from both RPR and the MLS, Lincoln versus Omaha comparison, days on market trend, list to sales ratio. And after that, we'll break down the market by price band. Because this is a segmented market, your strategy should match your segment. Then the new construction pipeline. 542 active units are pending right now and what that means. And we'll close with what I'm watching heading into May and June. So all right, let's get started. The $89,000 spread. This is the most important slide in this entire presentation. Builders in Lincoln are listing new construction at a median of $524,925. That's the median ask across all 370 active new construction listings right now. Buyers are committing at $436,152. That's an $88,773 gap. I rounded to $89,000 for simplicity, between what builders are asking and where actual buyer demand is concentrating. Now here's what that tells you. It's not that buyers are getting $89,000 off every home. It's that the homes moving, the homes going under contract, are disproportionately in the lower price bands, and the homes sitting are disproportionately at the higher end. Think of the spread as your map. If you're a buyer trying to figure out where to focus your energy, that gap tells you where the value is. The 350 to 450K band is where buyers are actually committing, and if you're a seller or builder watching this, the spread tells you something different. The market is finding its level, and it's finding it below $500,000. We'll get into the specific price bands in a few minutes, but I want you to keep this $89,000 number in your head for the rest of this video because it explains almost everything else we're going to talk about. So all right, let's look at the April snapshot, all of Lincoln and not just new construction. April was a strong month, and let me walk you through the top numbers. Median sold price, $310,000. That was up 6% from March. Spring velocity is real. Median days on market, 9 days, which was down from 15 in March. That is fast, and I want to be specific about what that means. 9 days is the median, which means half the homes that sold in April went under contract in 9 days or less. The other half took longer. So if your home is sitting at day 20, you're not in a broken market, you're in the half that takes more time. List to sales ratio, 99.5%. This was up from 98.8% in March. This is the number that tells you how much pricing discipline actually matters. Sellers who price correctly are getting within 0.5% of their asking price. Months of supply, 2.58. This one I flagged with a red indicator because it ticked up slightly, and we'll come back to why that matters. The four numbers on the bottom row, 814 active listings, 340 closed sales, 406 new pendings, and 723 new listings. One thing I want to pull out, 406 new pendings against 723 new listings means buyers are absorbing about 56% of incoming supply. Not every listing is going under contract, and that's important context heading into summer. So here's the days on market trend going back to November. November was 22 days, December 28, January 32. That's your typical winter slowdown. Then February started the spring turn. 24 days, March dropped to 15, April to 9. That's a significant compression in a short window. Spring showed up fast here in Lincoln this year, and what I'm watching is whether this holds into May and June or whether we see it creep back up as inventory builds. The 2.58 months of supply ticking up is a signal worth watching. If that continues, days on market may potentially follow. And for sellers, the lesson here is that the window for that 9-day pace is real, but it requires pricing right on day one. Quick comparison to Omaha, because I think context matter here. Both markets hit 99.5% list to sale price in April, identical. It tells you that pricing discipline is equally critical in both cities right now. Omaha's months of supply is tighter, 1.66 versus Lincoln's 2.58, and Omaha is moving faster too at 7 days versus Lincoln's 9. But Lincoln's median sold price is $27,500 higher, 310 versus 282. Lincoln commands a premium, and right now it's holding it. Lincoln is a strong market, not as tight as Omaha, but not far behind, and the pricing premium Lincoln buyers are paying is being substantiated by real demand. So now let's talk price bands, because this is where the market story gets interesting. This chart shows the 370 active new construction listings broken out by price band. And the first thing I want you to notice is how uneven the distribution is. Under 300,000, 5 units, 1% of the pipeline. If you're a buyer looking for entry-level new construction in Lincoln, it doesn't exist. 300 to 350K, 16 units, 4% of the pipeline, thin. Then the 350 to 450K band, 126 active listings, or 34% of the total pipeline. This is your core demand zone. Builders know it, buyers know it, that's where the volume is. 450 to 600K, 99 units or 27% of the pipeline, and 600K plus, 124 units, also 34% of the pipeline. Same percentage as the 350 to 450K band, but absorbing at a completely different rate. The table on the right color codes it. 350K to 450K highlighted in blue as core demand. 600K plus in red as stacking inventory. That contrast is currently the story of Lincoln new construction. Let's spend a moment on the 350 to 450K band specifically, because this is where most buyers in Lincoln are operating. 126 active listings, 73 pending. That's a 0.58 pending to active ratio. To put that in plain language, for every 2 homes listed in this band, roughly 1 is under contract. That's healthy, competitive demand, not a frenzy, but not leisurely either. The buyers I see doing well in this band come in prepared. They've done the comparison work, they know the subdivisions, they've thought through the lot. The buyers who struggle are the ones who are still figuring out in real time when the right property comes along. In a 0.58 ratio market, you don't get unlimited time to think. Now, where is leverage actually moving? This is the part of the market most buyers and sellers misread. This slide lays it out simply. Under 300K and 300K to 350, seller leverage. Supply is almost non-existent. Buyers don't have a lot of options. 350 to 450, balance. Buyers need to move decisively. Sellers are priced correctly, are doing well. 450 to 600K, shifting. Absorption is slower. Buyers are comparing more options before committing. 600K plus, buyer leverage. 124 listings, 78-day average days on market. Builders are feeling this. And when builders feel inventory pressure, things can and may get interesting for buyers. The mistake I see most often is buyers applying the wrong market assumptions for their price range. Someone in the 600K range treating it like they're in a competitive market and overpaying, and someone in the 350 to 450K range waiting for leverage that lives 200,000 above them. Know your segment, your strategy should match. So let me be specific about what the 600K plus opportunity looks like right now. 124 active listings, average of 78 days on market, and that's 2.6 months of sitting time on average. That kind of inventory pressure creates 4 things buyers can negotiate: rate buydowns, upgrade packages, lot premium reductions, closing cost contributions. None of those tools were available to buyers 18 months ago. The markets just didn't need them. Builders were moving product. Now it's slowing, not at 600K plus, and that's created a window, probably a 6 to 9 month window where patient, informed buyers can get deals that simply didn't exist before. I want to be clear, this isn't a distressed market. This isn't a market prediction. Builders are not panicking, but carrying costs are real, and when inventory sits long enough, flexibility does follow. So let's pull back and look at the full new construction pipeline. 542 units active or pending right now across Lancaster County. The clustered bar chart shows you active versus pending by price band side by side. The visual story, the 350 to 450K band has the highest pending numbers relative to active. The absorption is real. The 600K plus band has high active numbers, but comparatively few pending. That's your stacking inventory. The 4 stats on the right, 168 closed new construction homes already in 2026 through April. Median close price, 458. Median square footage, 2,411. At 458,000 median for 2,411 square feet, you are looking at roughly $190 per square foot on closed new construction. That's your baseline for evaluating whether a specific home is priced fairly. So here's what I'm watching heading into summer. 3 things that I think will define the Lincoln market through summer. Number 1, will 600,000 plus incentives materialize? The sitting time is there, 78 days on average. The question is when carrying costs push builders from let's wait to let's get creative. Number 2, does the 350 to 450,000 band stay competitive? Right now it's absorbing with a 0.58 ratio, but that's partly because inventory isn't flooding in at this price point. If summer brings new listings at this level, buyers gain room. If it doesn't, competition tightens back up. Number 3, inventory trajectory. Active listings went from 783 in March to 814 in April. That's a 31 unit increase in 1 month. If that trend holds into May and June, sellers need to be sharper on pricing than they've been in a couple years. I will be tracking this in the May update. So here's the bottom line. The market isn't one thing, it's segmented, and your strategy should match your segment. Under 450, buyers need to move decisively. The demand is real, supply at the entry level is genuinely thin, and the homes that are priced right are going fast. Above 600, patient buyers have leverage that didn't exist 18 months ago. This is a window that will not stay open indefinitely. For sellers, 99.5% list to sales ratio is real and achievable, but only with day one pricing. The market no longer forgives wishful prices the way it did in 2021 and 2022. That's the April 2026 Lincoln market. If you want this broken down in your inbox every month, I put out the Harrison Real Estate Brief, a free monthly newsletter with exactly this kind of local data. The link is in the description. And if you have questions about a specific situation, buying, selling, building in Lincoln, reach out directly, 308-641-2967 or travis.harrison@woodsbros.com. I'll be back next month with the May numbers, and thanks for watching.